Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to back up a MySQL database. So this is pretty easy, but before we actually do the backup, let's real quick just check what's inside our database. So show databases. So just to verify real quick here. Now testDB1 is the one that we're going to want to back up. So these are the databases we have running on this MySQL instance. So we want to back up testDB1, so we're going to check what's in there. Show tables and say select all from all from food. Right, so there we go. We can see some data in there, right? So let's exit out of here, and now let's try to back this up. So we're going to say MySQL dump, UMP. We're going to specify the database. So testDB1, and let's just show what the output looks like before we actually take a dump. So see, this outputted a bunch of SQL. So this is all the SQL you would need. See here it has these tables. This is basically an insert statement that could be used to recreate the database. So you can see this is the same data that we saw in that table. Description for the tables. So essentially, the output that this command outputs is it's basically the SQL commands that you would need to create a copy of that database, right? So anyways, let's redirect this to a file. Generally, you're going to redirect it to a SQL file, so a .SQL file. It's something that you could load back into the database. So my database backup, put the data in there, .SQL. And there we go. So we could view this file just to take a look, but it's basically going to be what we expect. VI this, and there we go. All the SQL. See, it says on the top here, MySQL dump, blah blah blah. It'll tell us the database, server version, and so on and so forth. All the information to recreate this database. All right, so one quick side note that I'd like to, just point out here is that when you do run a restore, so this is the MySQL dump that I took. So when you do restore from this, one of the first things it does, basically, this is the top of the file here, right? First thing it does, drop table if exists employee. So for each table, it's going to drop the table. So drop table if exists food. So, and then it will create the table, right? So it will drop the table, recreate the table, and it will insert the new values into the table, right? So just be aware if let's say you take a dump of your database and then you write new data to your table and then you try to restore, it's it's not going to check if that and see, oh, there's newer data, nothing to restore. It's going to drop all data, whether it's new or not, and restore only the stuff that was backed up. So just be aware of that and be careful when doing these restores. So yeah, just to point that out. So before we try to restore this, the restore is pretty straightforward. Let's try to actually drop this database. And actually, we need to specify the keyword database. So drop database testDB1. We're going to drop this out of here. Now, before you go doing anything like this, make sure you know what you're doing, back everything up ahead of time. But in any case, so testDB1 is gone, right? So we're going to exit out of here. And we're going to say, so to restore this, we are going to say MySQL, and we're going to say testDB1 and we're going to use a less than sign like this just to read in the data from my data. So my database backup. So we're going to basically just run the MySQL client. Now you would need to specify your username and a -p to ask for the password if you're not using a socket to authenticate, which I am. So if you run into trouble, that might be why. But this is how it works for me. In any case, and it looks like I'm going to have to create the database. All right, there we go. Create an empty database, and let's try running this backup. Let's try running this restore now. All right, there we go. Now let's jump back in here. Show databases, and we have testdb1, which I just created, but then I restored the data to it. And let's say use testdb1 and show tables. So all our tables are back: employee, food, and inventory. And we can verify that there's some data there. Select all from food, and there we go. We have all our data rows intact. So that's how we can restore. That's how we can back up and restore a MySQL database. Now you might want to create versioned backup. So you just change the date every time you run it. You might want to do that in a script. But anyways, hopefully this helps someone. Thanks for watching. Might want to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.